I just hit record. This is the very first video that I'm posting on this new channel right now. If you go right now to my channel and sort by date of posting, you can see that this is, in fact, the very first video I posted. But yet, if you look at the title, you can see how many subscribers it's gotten me. And that's because every so often I'm updating how many subscribers this has gotten in the title. I'm doing this to prove a point, but also take you on a journey with me. This is kind of cool. I want to show how I made this video actually go viral and be successful, and hopefully this encourages you to start or continue. I'm just hitting play right here. You just saw me do that. So I technically just started a business by hitting that button right now. So hopefully this encourages you to do the same. Let's talk about this. Okay, so this is the very first video, right? So if you came from a later video, maybe this is 2 years later, and I've had 20, 30, 50 videos posted, and some of these have millions of views, all right? And you saw that video and you really like that content, and you say, I wonder what his first video was. And so you go back and you're scrolling through my channel and you find this video and you're like, oh my gosh, that was his first video. It gives you a way to see where I come from to where I've grown to, right? Because I know for a fact this is not gonna be my best video, right? I know that I don't have the audio right. I mean, look at this. I attached just like a lapel mic to this, right? It's not gonna be the best audio quality. It's not gonna be the best video quality. I'm probably not gonna do the best editing, and I'm probably not speaking with the most amount of confidence, right? As I make more videos, I know that I'm gonna get more experience. I know that I'm gonna get more confidence. I know I'm gonna become a better speaker. So I'm gonna gain a lot of experience from making videos, but this is my first one. But yet, if you look at the title, hopefully you're coming from later date, and maybe this says this video gave me 1,000 subscribers, or maybe you're the second person watching it and saying this video gave me 0 subscribers, right? And in that case, go ahead and subscribe and help join this journey along with me, because what's happening in this video is you are becoming what's called an active participant in this video versus a passive spectator. Usually when you watch a video, it's someone who's pre-recorded something, which technically I am doing right now, and it's someone who's giving out information, but there's no way for you to really feel engaged with that video, right? It's not getting you to really do anything. There's no way for you to really be participating in it. You're just kind of watching it. But in this video, it's kind of cool because if you subscribe from this video, or if you watch it, whatever, if it helps the algorithm and push this video out, technically you've contributed. And I know this is a little circular reasoning, and it's like, oh, it's almost like tricking you, which in a way it kind of is, but in a way it's showing you that this is possible. And I didn't really come up with this idea. Technically, I'm getting this idea from something that works, right? Proof of concept is one of the best things you can do. If you ever make a video, if you do have something that's truly unique, truly creative, and it's never been done before, well, that uniqueness in itself is what's gonna make it become so successful. But a lot of times you can take a proof of concept that that works and get inspiration from it, modify it, change it to make it your own. And I've done that actually with this video. So this is my first video I've made, but there is a proof of concept or a good idea. A guy named Tom Scott, YouTube channel, if you go search it, he has made it to where every time that video gets a view, his title for that YouTube video says, this video has blank number of views. And so if that video has 75 million views, or 75,320,061 views, then the title is going to say that actual number, right? And every time you watch that video, he's got it to where the software will update and his title will get changed to add one extra viewer, right? So the concept exists, because I know that video, right, as of time recording right now, has 75 million however many views, right? So it clearly works. So now here I'm doing that same concept where I'm taking something that I know that works and I'm kind of adapting it and modifying it for my video here. But now I'm using it not with views, but subscribers. Also, I'm not going to make it to where it automatically updates. I'm going to go in every week, maybe at the start I'll go in more often, and as the video grows, maybe it might be every month or whatever, but I'll update how many subscribers this video has gotten me. And it's kind of to show that I just hit record, right? I just started a video from scratch here, and you can see how this video grows, how it adapts. What's what's really cool is I'm kind of manifesting this video to work, because if I never made this video because I'm afraid, right? And I do have a lot of fears. Like, I made this formerly broke channel almost a year ago. I got the Gmail, at Gmail, I made the channel. I went on social medias and I secured the username for all these different social media accounts. And I started getting all these different ideas for this video or this channel that I wanted to do. And I said, okay, I'm going to make it about this, or I'm going to make it about that. And I actually went through and I wrote a bunch of scripts. I had all these ideas, but I had all these fears about, okay, what if someone doesn't like my voice? What if someone doesn't like my hair? What if someone doesn't think that my background is professional enough? What if? You know, there's all these things that are these fears and uncertainties that prevent you from taking action. But you have to start, right? And it's kind of weird that I'm saying this, because I'm trying to motivate you, but at the same time, I'm motivating myself in a way, because this is my first video, right? I'm scared to do this, but if I don't push play and if I don't get this video out, I'm afraid I'll never do it, and I'll just keep pushing it out and pushing it out, because I keep telling myself, well, it'll be so much work to edit it. Or what if the audio's not right and someone comments in the comment section like, oh, I can't hear you, or you sound muffled, or you're talking out your ass, whatever it is, right? Like, or man, this is scammy or clickbaity. But I just need to do something, right? And so what I did is I went through and I thought of a way to do this, make my first video, and who knows what my later videos will be. And hopefully you join along with the journey, because I really don't know what this channel will be, but I know it'll be a way for me to motivate myself and motivate someone else. So I'm manifesting it to happen, right? Because if I don't do it, it won't happen. But the idea or concept of manifestation is, I believe that this channel will be very successful. I believe that this video will get me a lot of subscribers. I believe it will happen. Now, believing is great. But if I truly believe that in the future this will work, then I'm going to do whatever it takes and take steps and actions to make it happen, right? So I'm not going to, if I believe something will happen, I'm not just going to sit there and wait for it to happen, right? If you truly believe something will happen, well, then you're going to do everything you possibly can to make sure that that goal of whatever you're manifesting is going to happen. And so that's sort of the concept, is it's a mindset that you have to have. And I know this because I've done this. I have other YouTube channels got over 600 and almost 700,000 subscribers. And I know what I did to get those channels to grow. I know how I did it. And it's all a mindset, right? I believed it would happen. And then you get some motivation, right? When something does happen, when I got my first video that hit 1,000 views, I was like, I was in shock. I was like, this is incredible. This is amazing. What did I do that was right? And what did I do that was wrong? And I went through, I was reading the comments, and people were like, oh man, your audio, I can't hear the music in the background. It's too loud. I can't hear it. And so I made some changes, and the next video was a little bit better, and the next video was a little bit better, right? I gained that experience. And then it grew and grew and grew. And then I started getting people who giving me advice. So I made a video on a certain topic, and someone else said, oh, I really like that. It reminds me of this. And they gave me an example of something that was similar but a little bit different. And I was like, oh, that would be a really, really good topic to make a video about. So then I made a video about it, and it went viral. It was my first ever viral video. Got millions of views. And I was like, oh my gosh. So the audience, or my audience, which is you, actually gave me the idea. So it wasn't just me trying to educate, it was someone gave me a concept or idea, and then I went through and I put in the work to actually make the video happen. And then people from there started giving me more advice of, hey, you should do a video on this. And so it's not just me making videos about random stuff, I was actually getting feedback on what people wanted me to tell them to make. And from there, it kind of took off, and it took off. And the next thing I know, I got to expand about just my niche, and I got to expand to kind of a broader niche. And that's kind of what I did with this channel. And I was like, well, that's great and all, but I can't really do this kind of content on that channel. I wanted to be able to go in, write a few points down, and that's what I've done on my computer here. I've just written, this is it. I don't have anything more. It's just one page. Not even, it's half a page of notes. I wrote down half a page of notes of some things I wanted to say. I wanted to hit record. I wanted to talk, and then I want to just post it. I don't want to spend hours editing. I don't want to spend hours thinking of concepts or writing a word for word script, because I've done that. Yes, it works, but it's a mindset with me of, it's almost like a dread of, it's going to be so much work to do. And then you just get putting it off. And that's kind of what this channel was. And I said I'd come back and talk about some of the different concepts or ideas that I've come up with. So here they are. The channel's name is Formerly Broke, right? And it's in a way, it's kind of manifesting myself, because, right now, yes, I'm making money from some other videos and other channels and stuff, and I have a full-time job, but I still consider myself living paycheck to paycheck. So right now, at the time of this writing, I am broke, right? I'm better off than many, and I'm very blessed to have the resources that I have. But when you're still living paycheck to paycheck, there's still a lot of limitations you have on your freedom to do a lot of the things that you want to do, right? And there's stress associated with that. And again, I want to say I'm very blessed from all that I've had. But what I'm trying to do is manifest myself to something else. So, formerly broke, by making this channel, I'm making a statement that this is myself in the future, in the past, right? I'm no longer broke. So hopefully by the time you're watching this, I'm no longer broke, because maybe I can be monetizing this channel and this video itself, monetizing it through the YouTube partner program, making money from the ads that are running. So if you watch the ad all the way through or click on it, then a certain portion of that goes to YouTube and a certain portion of that will come back to me, right? I'll make money from it. So I'm manifesting myself to become not broke, or formerly broke, because at the time of this writing, I was broke, right? You kind of see the cycle there. And it sounds kind of saying that you're thinking about all these things in the future within the past, but I feel like I have to do it. So the first idea, From Broke to Rich, was a whole series that I was going to do. And I went through and I looked up Danny Johnson, for instance, Howard Schultz, Oprah. And I looked up their backstory, and some of these people came from pretty hard backgrounds, pretty rough beginnings, and they pulled themselves to a point where they became millionaires, billionaires, super successful people. And so I went through and I have a list of all these people. It was originally called Rags to Riches, then it was From Broke to Rich, and there was a couple different concepts or ideas, but all these people who kind of went from broke to not broke, right? Kind of the concept of this, right? Formerly broke. And I wrote all these videos down, word for word, on the stories of these people and how they what life's concepts they had and how they achieved these things. And I was like, this will be great. But then I started getting these self-doubts, right? I said, well, what if it's not really interesting? Or, anybody could do this. What if somebody else just copies me and does it better? Or, man, that's going to be a lot of work to edit in. It was going to be a faceless channel too, right? So I was just going to go get clips of random people or clips of those people and edit it in a way so I wasn't actually going to show my face. I was just going to record the audio of me talking, telling the story, and then getting clips. And I was like, man, that's going to be a lot of work. And even though I wrote down the scripts for all these, I was like, that's going to be so much work to put all this stuff together. And so I never did it, right? And the idea just kind of passed up. So a couple months went by and I said, whoa, I got a really good idea. I said, what if, because it is talking about, formerly broke, or I was like, what if I talk about something to do with money? What if I talk about unethical but legal businesses? And I was like, that'll be a really good series. I can find some business that somebody's done and talk about, this is really unethical but yet legal. And I'd find all these different videos that would be over these different clips. So I started going through and I started coming different companies that are kind of unethical but still technically legal, and they're very successful. But then I was like, man, again, that's going to be a lot of work. And, your mind starts to go through this fear of how much, how these challenges, and then it never gets done, right? I never posted any of the videos. I never even recorded them. And then I started thinking, okay, well, what if I do 90-day viral? And so this is another concept I have. I was like, okay, I've built this other channel that, over 500,000 subscribers. And I know how I did it. I could replicate it if I wanted to copy the same concept. But I was like, what if I did 90-day viral, where I record kind of what I'm doing here, but a little bit different. I was like, what if I record every single day for 90 days and see if I can get one video over 1 million views? And every day is kind of an update on different videos that I'm putting out, how I'm making those videos. And so the audience can kind of follow along with me to see how I've done it. So I was in my car and I just hit record. And for 30 minutes, I just talked about what I was going to do, how I was going to do it, some of the the concepts that I was going to do. And so I did the first one, and I watched it through, and I was like, this is really good. I was like, this is going to be great. And so I got home, and I started watching it again, and I was like, but what if something comes up over the next 90 days, and I don't get to do it? Or something doesn't happen, or man, that's going to be a lot of work. It's really forcing myself to commit to it, and I didn't really want to do it. So then I just never posted it. I never did anything with it. It just sat there, right? I never did it. Never did anything with this. I have so many different ideas, but I never posted it. I never hit record until today. So a couple weeks ago, I got hit with a hurricane. I live out in New Orleans, right? So I got hit with a hurricane and the house flooded. So we're just renting. We're out, right? So we stayed on, a friend luckily let us sleep in their guest room. I was sleeping on a couch. We did that for a couple of days until we found a new place to live. And when I was looking around, I kept thinking, well, maybe some of the reasons I'm not posting the video is because I don't have the right backdrop, right? Because I watch videos and, you always see these glowing LED lights in the background, and you see, these fake plants. I say, well, I need a studio. I need a place that I can already have set up that looks good, right? Looks the part. So we found this place that has this kind of back room. It's not air conditioned, but I said, okay, I'm going to turn it into a studio. So then I went to Home Goods and I went out and I bought a fake plant. I bought fake, old looking books. I bought, look, there's like a dinosaur head, right? And so I bought some stuff because I said, if I look the part, then I'll feel the part, right? So I bought all this stuff, and then a couple weeks went by and I just never recorded anything. Until today, I said, you know what? What if I just do it? What if I just do it? Kids are at school, here by myself. Let's just do it. So I just hit record. I literally walked over here, I wrote down a couple things, and I hit play. I recently saw a video also that Joshua Mayo, if you look up his YouTube channel, and he said he made $613,000 in his very first year on YouTube. And he kind of shows his ad revenue on how much he made, like $300,000 from ads alone on his videos. And I was like, oh, that's the motivation. I can do that. But then I was like, but that's not me, right? I don't want to be that person. I want to be my own person. Yes, I've had success in my own ways, but I want to do something a little bit different. So that's why I made this video, is to show you as the audience who I would usually be, because I love going on YouTube and searching like YouTube motivation and watching people like Mr. Beast or other popular YouTubers who have just kind of given advice of what they've achieved over time and how they've become so successful. I love watching those videos, and it's really helped me with my other channel that's grown so much. But that channel also is very niche, and the RPM is very, very low. So I was like, well, I need to do something that's a little bit different in order to actually get this money, this formerly broke, to go from this point in my life to this point in my life. So I was like, what if I just hit play and then let the audience come along this with me? So that's what I'm doing. You're going to join me on this journey. Hopefully this video if you look at the title, it's got a lot of subscribers. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, maybe I'm making money from this video. I'd love to do a follow-up video. Maybe in 1 year, I'll do a follow-up video and say, hey, look, this is how much my first video made me. Like, look at this. Here I am talking about this. Now I'm showing you this. Because my mom used to have a saying, and she'd always say this, Don, that's a can't do, won't work attitude. You need to be a can do, will work attitude. And it stuck with me. I spent so much of my life waiting for things to be perfect, waiting for things to be right. It's never going to be right. It's never going to be perfect. Sometimes you just got to start. You just start with something small like this, like me talking about me making this video. It's going to lead me to make another video, and maybe my next video is better. Join me along this journey. Have a good one.